Hey guys, so going live here, and we're going to start in just a couple of more minutes, and but we're going to be doing a full hand treatment tonight. We'll work on our hips, we'll work on some upper back and shoulder stuff, just kind of trying to open up the chest as much as we can, because really that's the area that's going to get a lot of tenderness. So also remember that melt is a somatic type of a treatment. And so a somatic treatment not only affects you, your system physiologically, but it also affects it neurologically and in your nervous system. So then that way you are, hey Debbie, that way you can, it can affect your emotions, and it can affect how your body's reacting and dealing with stuff. So don't be concerned if you are having a difficult time maybe with the practice tonight, or afterwards you feel like an emotional release. Allow yourself to have an experience that you maybe not have had recently with your melt treatment. Also, it can help to open up the lungs, the chest, the back, the neck, the shoulders, and so on, even kind of clear up some congestion. So I hope that you are excited to do this. If you don't have a regular melt roller, that's no big deal. You can use a regular melt roller. It will be bigger and harder, and so the experience won't be quite as nice. If you don't have melt balls, you can use other balls. You want them smaller, not golf balls. If you have firm balls, you can use that as well. And then that way you can get the treatment. Remember, we're not trying to go deep. We're trying to allow the tissue to respond. So this is more like doing kind of a medium to soft to medium to maybe firmer massage technique, instead of just doing just a deep tissue get in there. So it's not how hard you can go. It's the connection into the tissue to release the tissue. Make sure you have some water with you. Make sure you have some water with you so that you stay hydrated, because we're trying to bring hydration into the tissue to bring that superficial fascial layer hydration and move the hydration out so that you're not getting so stuck in the body. This coloring makes I have a green shirt on. This makes me look like I have a kind of a gray shirt on. So anyway, we're going to get going. Hey, Dana. And I look forward to your comments afterwards. And also I'll be reposting this for the replay on YouTube, so you can check it out again as well. And so anyways, so let's start. And we're going to start with a nice easy hand treatment. Part of the reason why also we're starting with a hand treatment is so that for people who are coming in later, maybe they can start when we get to the rest assess as well. So I'm going to have, if you have a full set of melt balls, which is 2 large soft and 2 large firm, go ahead and get those out. So we're going to use them all kind of simultaneously at a couple of different times. But just like in every melt technique, we start with an assessment. And that assessment helps ourselves cognitively not only connect to what's going on, but also in a way so that our body then makes adjustments and that our progress becomes better as we do more melting. So anyway, so we're going to start with the large softball, and we'll do most of the stuff on the right hand, then we'll do the left hand, and then we'll do the right. But so you're going to have a large soft and a large firm for both hands at one point. So anyway, start with the large softball. Go ahead and take the softball and put it in your hand. I have my hand up here, mostly like I say in class. It's not that you have to hold your hand like that. I just want you to see how I'm holding my hand. And then you're just going to grip the ball around with your hand. And then you're going to switch to the other hand and just notice how that feels. Good. So take that ball and then switch it back to the first hand. And then again, switch the ball and take it to the left hand. If you're just joining us, that's fantastic. Grab your melt balls and let's get going. And then back to the first hand, just notice how you can grip around the ball. If you need to close your eyes and notice what's going on, maybe in your forearm, your neck, and your shoulder. And then release one more time and go to the second hand. And again, notice what's happening in your thumb, maybe your wrist. Let me take my watch off. Your neck and your shoulder when you release the ball. So we're just creating some conscious connection and some awareness to what's going on in our system. I want you to kind of come to hands and knees if you can. Now, if you're on a countertop, you can totally do this. If this position of your knees doesn't work for you, it's no big deal. Sit any way you want, or you can be up on a chair at a countertop or anything like that. Just take your camera with you if you want to, your phone with you. Open up your hands, and I want you to see how your hands touch the ground, and just shift forward a little bit until you feel that tensional pull in the back of the wrists, and then back down. So you're not looking for pain, you're just kind of looking to see where your body shifts to and maybe where some stopping spots are in your thumb, index fingers, shoulders, wrist, or back, or anything like that. So then take your hands out to maybe like around 10 and 2. Do the same thing and see if that pressure changes in your hands at all. And notice what's going on. And then we're going to take our hands back more closely to almost like a 6 o'clock or somewhere about, let's go 6:30 and about 5:30. Just shift forward and back. Hey guys, I'm glad to see y'all. I'll respond to you guys as I can. Good. And then we're going to take those same hands, we're going to turn them inward. And you're going to feel that shift back and forth. You want to see how your hands respond to your elbows not want to stay straight. And here's an interesting one. Can you turn your hands all the way around and then bend and straighten? So you can kind of see what I'm doing. My arms are all the way back towards me. If that's difficult, we want to work that out. And you want to see if you can bend your elbows almost like as if you were going to be doing a push-up the reverse way. You want to see what that feels like. So bending the elbows in all those different directions can make a difference and can see where you've got stuck stress or pre-pain signals that live inside the body. So let's take that large softball again. We're going to take it to, we're going to take it onto your right hand. This is my left, your right. And we're going to place that ball on the ground and just press the ball right into the palm of the hand. So you're going to go what's called position point 1 was right through the center of the hand. Just go press straight down. And then we're going to go to position point 2, which is underneath the knuckles. So my hand is on the ground and I can see my knuckle press up. And then position 2 on that next knuckle, and then on the next knuckle, on the next knuckle. Now we're going to go to the thumb. You're going to go to the knuckle just below that bend in the thumb. And position point 3, which is down here at the base of the wrist. And position point 4, which is right there at the carpal tunnel. And then position point 5, which is out on the outside of the pinky side of the hand. I'm going to take my left hand and place it on top, and I'm going to begin to do some rinsing back, or some gliding back and forth. You're trying to make consistent pressure. You're moving that ball back and forth, and it's making kind of an arcing pattern back and forth. You're not trying to push the ball down. You're letting the ball do the work. You're just keeping the movement consistent back and forth. You're letting your left hand help you instead of just your right hand. And then we're going to pause right behind the thumb where the thumb meets the pad. And you're going to kind of act like you're kind of a thumb sucker and you're, like a wacky wall walker or something like that. Go up and back, then press side to side, and then around in circles for some shearing, and then pause. And then we're going to release that ball. And we're going to place that ball, we're going to place the thumbs, place the ball in between the fingers and squeeze. And then take it to the next 2 fingers and squeeze. And then take it to the next 2 fingers and squeeze. And then the next 2 fingers, the thumb and the index finger, and squeeze. We're going to go for a rinsing pass now with this first ball from your knuckle to your nail. From your knuckle to your nail. One direction, move that ball, grab the ball again. From your thumb knuckle to its nail, go back across that. You can go in between the fingers. Notice on my hand that's moving, I'm also getting a little rinse pass on the bottom of my hand. Then we're going to take that same ball, we're going to get lower, and we're going to go from fingertip to elbow, all the way down. Fingertip to elbow, fingertip to elbow. One more time, fingertip to elbow and down. Good. So that's the large softball on that hand. Let's go to the other hand. Place the ball on the hand again, feel that squeeze. Place the ball down, press straight down. You're going to go to position point 2. Position point 2 underneath the next knuckle, underneath the 3rd knuckle. Move the ball underneath the 4th knuckle, the 5th knuckle, then position point 3 underneath the heel of the hand, first pad, to the 2nd pad right between the 2 thumb and pinky pads of the hand, and then to the outside. Good. Keep that ball there. Take on that pad. So again, you're keeping the ball here. We're going to track that ball along the pad as you press the ball both ways. You're trying to have some good preparatory movement for the tissue, allowing the tissue to become a little bit more ready to be more hydrated. Back and forth. Use your right hand to help your left. And then pause. We'll take the hand off. And then you're just going to kind of move that hand back and forth, kind of like you're scratching something. Then shift the hand back and forth like you're itching something. And then circle like you're massaging soap into someone's scalp. I don't know whose scalp, but someone's scalp. Pause. Move that thumb in and out if you'd like for a little more of a shear. And then pause again. We like the tissue to respond so the hydration can get into the tissue. Release the hand. We'll go for some compression here. See if you can get those knuckles to find some knuckle space there. And then we'll squeeze that hand around the ball. So it's right as deep as you can into those fingers. Squeeze. And then thumb and index finger squeeze. Good. Release. And we're going to go fingertip to heel of the hand. Pull my sleeve up. 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 Two more. Up. And up. Good. Take the ball. So you've got those two balls. If you've got two balls, take them, and you're going to do what's called friction. Now, friction is a multi-directional technique. It really helps to kind of move the lymph out of the tissue. You might feel a tingling going up your arms. If you feel a tingling anywhere else, you might just need to figure that out. Go ahead and pause, and then take the ball back into your hand and give it a squeeze, and then give it a squeeze with the other hand. And notice if you feel any difference already. This lighter tissue maybe moving a little bit easier. We'll go to a real quick check in that rocking position. 10 and 2. Good. Kind of 5 and 7. Turn those hands all the way in. And maybe see if you can turn your hands all the way back and bend the elbows. Bend the elbows. I think that's a lot better for me. Good. We can also check. Now that we're going to do the firm ball, we'll check the palms, see if the palms are flat. You're looking for more of a T than more like a V. Sometimes your fingers are all over the place or your elbows pop open when we do this. So let's then go to the large firm ball. You got that large firm ball in your hand, and we're going to make a fist around it. Feel that grip. It may feel more solid than even with your softball. Feel that grip. Feel that grip again. One more time. And then we'll take it into that hand, place the ball on the ground, and then begin to, position point pressing right through the center of that right hand. And then to the first knuckle, press down. To the second knuckle, press down. To the third knuckle, press down. So I'm pushing down so I can see the white of the knuckle press up. To the fifth, to the pinky knuckle. And then to the thumb knuckle. The pad of the thumb side of the hand. The center between the thumb and the pinky side, and then again the pad on the pinky side of the hand. Take the left hand on top and begin to glide that ball side to side. Now you might actually start noticing some difference in there. You're not trying to push harder. The ball is doing the work. Remember, the ball does the work. You just keep moving. And then go ahead and pause right at that thumb. Go back and up and down. Side to side, around in circles, and keep that pressure as you do that thumb back and forth. Pause, and then release. And we're going to get that ball right between those fingers and see if you can squeeze that ball. If you need to use the softer ball, do so. And then squeeze that ball, and again, squeeze that ball. Now we're going to do the back of the hand again, from knuckle to nail. Back through the pinky finger, ring finger, middle, index, and thumb. And then we're going to do knuckle to nail all the way down. 2 more, 4, and 5. Good. Moving on to our last hand. Give it a nice good squeeze. Close your eyes. Whew. And then let's start with the palm right down there. So it's right at the center of the hand, pressing straight down. Good, and then we're going to go to the first knuckle right below the index finger, press down. You can see the white of that knuckle. Press down into the middle finger knuckle. Press down. See how my wrist is down and my fingers are down? I'm releasing the tension throughout my hand. Pinky finger, thumb, to the pad of the thumb, to the pad between, the space between the pads, and then the outside pad. Take your right hand over and then begin to move side to side. And again, with the large firm ball, it's not so much that you move harder, is that you are allowed to feel more because the ball itself is firmer. Keep that motion going. And 2 more. Last one, we'll end at the pad of the thumb again. We'll scratch, we'll rock, and we'll circle. Pause, move that thumb in and out and in and out. And then pause and let the tissue respond. Good, take that ball up, we'll go back through that pinky finger, give it a squeeze. And then the next 2, squeeze. And then the next 2, squeeze. And then the thumb and index finger squeeze. Good. And we're rinsing. And then we are going, after we finish rinsing the hands, we're going to rinse that forearm the last time, and then we get to use both of those balls to do that friction. And again, fingertips to elbow, down. And again, you can of course have done all of this on the counter or a chair, coffee table, whatever. Good. Take both firm balls and then do some friction. Up and down, side to side, make circles. Good. And then pause. Now you've got both balls in your hands as you can. Make a double grip. Exhale. See if you notice the difference between the two. Breathe and release. Take the hands down to the ground and do that rocking back and forth. So you got a little bit more openness in those hands. To 10 and 2. To 7 and 5. Oh, I like that one. That one kind of opened my shoulders, my wrists up. And then to the center. This one gets hard on people. Kind of gets into those shoulders. And here's the fun one. Turn the hands all the way back and bend those elbows like you're doing a really wonky push-up. Can your heel of your hand stay on the ground when you do that? And can you bend those elbows? Remember, the idea is about bending the elbows back, not so much about the shoulders shrugging. Okay, and we've got the ball. Take the palms of the hands, forearms together, close the palms of the hands. Again, you can see, open the palms of the hands. Look at that beautiful T and close your eyes. Do it one more time. Big deep breath. Exhale and release the arms. Good. So that was our upper body, kind of our forearm and hand treatment. Again, we used all of the balls that we had. There is some small balls. We didn't use those today. Now I just want you to get a sip of water. Make sure you're staying well hydrated. Let that fluid move around the body. And then let's move on. So we're going to move on to a rest assess, a lying rest assess. And then we're going to do some hip work. We're going to do some upper back work and see if we can kind of open up the whole body. Ooh, arms feel great right now. So I'm kind of tingly and kind of like, ooh, something's moving in there. Feels great. So let's go ahead and lay on the ground. If you can, get your large or a long roller. If you don't have a long melt roller, you can always use a regular roller. The nice part about a melt roller, of course, is the height is much lower and it's soft all the way down without lumps and bumps in it. And so it just kind of feels better underneath the back. If you don't have that, you can of course use a regular roller. You can roll up a big towel and put that down the length of your back and just lift your hips up off the ground a little bit and you'll get some of it. You won't be able to do all of the friction and that kind of a thing, the rolling, but you'll get some of the same idea and some of the same treatment. So anyways, grab that roller. Hello? I am filming right now. Please don't do that. So hi, I'm not filming?
You're crooked.
Oh, sorry, I'm crooked. I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. I'm crooked. Can you fix it? My husband came in and scared me.
Hold that and tell me when you're straight.
Oh, I'm crooked.
No,
I'm all
tell me when you're
sideways.
straight.
So I might have to stop filming and start over again because I don't think I can change it while I'm going. in. Come on. Open the thing up. All right. Can you see me again? My husband came in and he scared me, but hopefully we're getting back in and going. Hey, Dave and Laura. Very good. So I'm coming back to the mat. I'm going to probably have to get this a little bit closer and maybe even a little bit lower so you can see me as we do this part. Sorry about the movement of the camera. It's all part of the beauty and the action and the fun of live filming. So we're going to come back onto the mat. You're going to see me as best you can and just try to walk through this with me as best you can. So as we lay down on the mat, I want you to go into a rest assess position. So laying back, legs are extended out. Arms are towards the ceiling. You can close your eyes if you'd like and just take a couple of long, deep breaths. We're allowing our breaths to come into the body to focus us. So again, if you're just joining now, thank you for joining now. And we're allowing that body to just get connected down into the floor. So now what I want you to do is I want you to take notice of your masses and spaces. The masses are the parts of the body that touch the ground, your heels, your calves, your hips, your shoulders, your head, and your arms. And then the spaces are everything in between, which is your back of your ankles, your knees, your lower back, and the neck. Now I want you to take we're going to take a process through the body of just kind of noticing 3 basic areas that stuck stress likes to live. So in your shoulders, your stuck stress kind of lives in the shoulders, and you can tell that you're building stress. If your head feels like it's weighted off to one side. If all your shoulder weight feels like it's at the top of the shoulder, or if your arms don't feel evenly weighted. Ideally, if your body's doing what it should be doing and there's no stuck stress living in your body, ideally your shoulder weight is down all the way down to basically the lower part of your sternum. So your weight is evenly distributed with your arm weight distributed and your head weight evenly distributed behind the bridge of your nose. Just take notice if you have any stuck stress there. The second area stuck stress likes to live is in the diaphragm. Either from the food we eat, the stress we live, movements that we sit in can all kind of rest into our diaphragm to tighten that area up. And so notice if you feel like you have a very large back arch that might start at your navel and move all the way up towards the top of your rib cage. Or if one side of your ribs doesn't feel like it expands the same as the other. Ideally, you should have a nice level back with a small back arch starting at your navel and moving down to the top of your pelvis. That mimics the arch of your neck. Notice how your butt cheeks kind of lay on the ground because they're moving to your pelvis. Notice if in your pelvis is where another area of stuck stress is. If your pelvis and your butt cheeks feel evenly weighted, or if you feel off to one side, if you feel like you're sitting into your bones, if you don't feel your hamstrings touching the ground, or if your feet feel very kind of discombobulated down at the end of your ankles. Ideally, you'd feel evenly weighted in your cheeks, no pain in your lower back. Your hamstrings would feel like they're touching the ground, and your feet would feel like they're evenly dropped out east and west. And then we divide the body in half from ankle to arch, from ankle all the way up to the right side and left side of the body, dividing evenly. And you notice if the right side feels deeper into the ground than the left, or one side feels longer than the other. So if you're noticing some specific areas of tension, stress, or anything like that, you're noticing that you have some pre-pain signals going on in the body, which is kind of progressively could connect to some injuries or some issues in the back, neck, shoulders, or all the way down the body line. So let's go ahead and slide the feet in so the shins are vertical. Go ahead and grab your roller. And we're going to place that roller underneath the hips. So you're going to sit on the roller with your hips on the top of the roller. You can notice if you're in the right spot because you place your index finger onto the roller, slide the heel of your hands around, and your thumbs should be kind of on the head side of the roller, not on top of the roller. And if you can reach around and kind of touch the base of your cheeks down here. From there, hold the roller in place and bring your right knee and left knee up. You can also tell, because you want the knees about directly over the center of the hips. And then you can gently let the knees drop towards your chest and your hands rest by your side. Take your hand to your rib cage and just settle your back. And I want you to feel your hips directly over the roller with your knees just slightly towards your head. So you're not putting stress into your hip flexors, your psoas right now. And I want you to slide your hands up the top to the top of your knees with your fingers pointing over, kind of like a sun rising. And I want you to press your knees into your hands and your hands into your knees with equal pressure, and just breathe. I want you to try not to clench your glutes or tension in your shoulders and your neck. And then gently put your hands back by your sides, by either side of the hip, and see if you can tuck and tilt the pelvis. So you're trying to tuck and tilt the pelvis without moving your knees. And it may be pretty tight in there, like my pelvis is pretty tight right now, without lifting the ribs. That's a small motion, just a little tuck and a little tilt of the pelvis. Take the hands up to the top of the knees again and just begin to lower your right foot down and up, left foot down and back up. And again, right foot and up and left foot and back up. Go ahead and pause there. Take your hands back to your sides and begin a small circle as if your knees are on the have a pencil between them and you're making a small circle on the ceiling. Slowly begin to make that circle wider. So like the circle is more going the width of your roller than more towards your head or your feet side. So you're doing kind of an ellipse of a circle rather than a gigantic circle, because I don't want you to arch your back and I don't want you to get into your rib cage. And your hands kind of bump up your hips as your hips drive by. And then go ahead and make that circle smaller again. And stop right in the middle. And then begin to just do what's called marching. Just let one knee pass the other. Nice and gentle and soft. Not quick. Not necessarily fast. Go ahead and pause right in the center. Drop your left foot to the ground. Raise your right heel to the ceiling. From there, lower your right foot so it's about in line with your left knee and push that left heel away. At the same time, sink the ribs down and try to keep that pelvis level to the roller. Push that heel away, point the toe, push the heel away, point the toe. One more time, push the heel away, get long, and then release the right knee. Drop the right knee to the ground, bring the left knee into the chest, place the left heel towards the ceiling, lower the left leg down so the left and the right knee match. Press that left heel out and point the toe. Push that left heel out again. Try to keep the ribs down and out. One more time, push that left heel out and down, and then bend the left knee, and then bring the left foot next to the right. We're going to do what's called a figure four. Take the right ankle over the left knee. I want you to try to keep, I'm going to move my left foot so you can kind of see it a little bit easier. So I want you to try to keep that left leg that's crossed over your right knee at a 90-degree angle. And I want you to keep your foot flexed right there. Gently bring up the right knee. Take your left hand on that left thigh and right hand onto your right ankle. And you're pressing up and away. Press up and away as you gently press in with your right thigh. Inhale. But you're not trying to twist. Just press up and away and press in as a resistance. Again, keeping your pelvis right on top of that roller. Breathe. Inhale. Press up and away. Press up and away. One more time. Press up and away. Good. Pause and release. And lower that left leg. Cross your right knee over and bring your knees up. So you can see my right knee here. So I want to have my left hand on my right ankle, and I'm going to press up and away. You can kind of see that motion right there this time. Okay, press up and away. Breathe. Rib cage down, pelvis down. Press up and away. One more time. Press up and away. And then gently release. Bring both knees into the chest and just let them drop in. And then drop your right foot and left foot back down. So we're going to go through a reassess back on the ground again. So extend those legs back out. Let your arms come down by your side. I want you to close your eyes and allow yourself to go back inside the body. So what we've done is primarily been in the pelvis, but you may notice some changes up in the head, neck, or shoulders. That's an indirect change. Or maybe just the majority of your changes is into your pelvis. But just let that body just settle into the ground. Again, notice your masses and spaces. The masses, again, are just the spots that touch the ground, and the spaces are the spots in between. Notice your head weight, if your head weight feels a little bit more balanced. If the weight across your upper back feels more even and evenly placed all the way down into both arms. If those ribs feel like they're a little bit more even, a little bit more sunk into the ground, less back, high back arch. Now back into that pelvis. How's that pelvis feel? Does that pelvis feel more level to the ground? Do you feeling your hamstrings touch the ground, or do you feel like your feet are more evenly dropped out? Good, so we might have noticed some changes and affected both direct and indirect areas of our body. Now we're going to move the feet in so the shins are vertical. We're going to roll to the side. My hair came out of its hairband. I'm going to move this up so you can see me a little bit better, hopefully, because we're going to be upright. And then hopefully get my water, get some sips in my water. Grab my roller again. So I'll move slightly into the frame so you can see this, but I want you to lay back on that roller. So as you reach around, you can feel your shoulder blades touching the roller. So we were just in the hips. Now we're in the upper back. Take your hands behind your head, and we're going to do a little bit of a tuck of the pelvis. So the pelvis gets flat on the roller. So just lift those hips up and tuck the pelvis. Drop the ribs back down. Take the hands behind the head. So I want you to be careful not to press the head forward or push the head hard into the hands, but just let the head rest into those hands. Make a little basket. And from there, you can reach the hands out and kind of see if you can move those shoulders, and then take the hands back behind the head, keeping the ribs down, the pelvis tucked. I want you to do some rib length and just see what you get in your upper back. For me, I have a little tension in the outside of my left shoulder. Could be from those hand to shoulders from this morning. And then bring your head back up. And let's do it again. Lay back. Notice I'm not dropping my head, or my chin is not lifting. I'm just laying my head back and just kind of seeing where my back will take me. Gently come back up. Now I want you to tilt your body over to your left and expose kind of the right side of the rib wall. And then head center, and then tilt over to your right, and then do the same thing. Feel that left rib wall. And then come back to center. We're going to do it again. Tilt to the left rib side and reach around, hold that rib, and just kind of take a big deep breath and breathe into it. And then exhale and return the hand and come back to center. And then again, tilting to the right side, reach around for that left side. Good. And then come back to center. Inhaling here, we're just going to lift the hips up just a little bit, tuck the pelvis, pin the elbows close to the ear, and then you're just going to do kind of like you're punching the ceiling with your elbows, and you're kind of spinning on one little vertebra. Pause, 2 inches forward, 2 inches back, rolling. Now, some of you, I've showed you how to do this on the wall, so you could be transferring to the wall to do this. Puts less pressure on your back. This can pull those muscles against the neck, the upper trapezius muscles, careful with this area. Bend the elbows, and again, pin and twist. And then open those elbows out. Lift the hips just off the ground so you can roll 2 inches forward, 2 inches back. Pause and come down. So you're right at the top of those shoulders. You're going to lift your hips up as high as you can without dumping your head, and then roll backwards until you feel your legs straighten out. We'll reset that motion. Bring the weight almost to the roller back up to the top of the shoulders. Lift those hips up, and then press till the legs go straight. And then one more time, reset the feet, reset the weight of the back up on the top of the shoulders, up at the roller, and then press until the legs go straight. Well done. Nice, good rinse. From there, I want you to come back to our original position. We're going to check the rib length again, see if your ribs can stay down, but your back can go a little bit further. For me, that was a nice, good extension. Release the pressure in the back, tilt over to the left. Nice motion there. Take myself to the right, nice motion there. So not a lot of aggressive work, not a lot of pressure, not a lot of time spent, but a good amount of allowing ourselves to just move on the roller. So now we're back in that original position. Lift your hips up, tilt your hips to the side. We're into what's called a half back. So my right hip is on the ground, my left hip is off the ground, my right hand is reaching out towards my left knee, and my left hand is supporting my head. And I just want you to roll that right shoulder up and around, kind of like the piston on a choo-choo train around. You feel that scraping of the lower part of your scapula. And then pause, reach out. Take your right elbow up and over the roller and back towards the ground. Up and over the roller, back towards the ground. One more time. Up and over the roller, back towards the ground. Take your hand behind your head. We'll come back to center. Let me turn around so you can see me from the other side. I lost my hair thing. I don't know where that went. I wonder if David joined in. He scared it off my head somehow. Anyway, so we've got back here. Oh, no, it's right here. That's weird. Anyway, so I'll put it on in a second. So we have our hands behind your head. Lift those hips up. Drop to your left hip. From there, take your left arm out. Again, my left hand is towards my right knee, and I'm going to start rolling my shoulder. I want to keep my elbows straight, so I'm really just using that shoulder girdle. Up and around, up and around, up and around. A couple more times. Good. Pause. Take that elbow up and over the roller. Think of a rainbow with your elbow. Once more. Up and over and up and back. Good. Bring those hips back underneath you. We're going to do that rinsing pattern once more. So that means you bring that roller to the top of your shoulders. You lift your hips up as high as you can and push till your legs are almost straight. Then reset your feet. Pull that roller to the top of the shoulder so your weight is at the top of the roller, and then push till your legs are almost straight. One more time of that rinse. Body's up, and then rinse down the back. Good. We'll come back up, and we'll bring ourselves all the way up, and we're going to lay on the roller on the back of our head. So what I want you to do, the position I want you to be here is, I want your nose straight up towards the ceiling. I'm going to take my glasses off. It may or may not be easier for you, for me rather, but I can't see very well. So, but I want your nose straight up towards the ceiling, and I just want you to allow your chin to drop towards your sternum and back up. If the roller moves or squirts out from underneath you, it's too high. If it goes underneath your neck, it's way too low. Just nod. Slow. We're probably doing a lot of head down positions today over the last couple of days. And I want you to allow those muscles in the back of the neck to just release. A couple more. So nose towards the ceiling, and think of doing a backstroke with your ears. So again, roll up with your left ear, then roll up, or a horizontal kind of a figure eight. Small motion, and then pause, keeping your head there, and you're just going to itch the back of your head. Just move the back of your head side to side. And then pause. Go and take that roller all the way out from you. Lay your head back, legs out straight, arms down by your side. So now you can't really see my legs, but you may be able to see my head, hopefully. And we're just going to lay back on the mat and just rest backwards. I want you to notice where your feet are and your hips and your back. And I want you to notice if you feel more of the weight of your back is more evenly distributed on your masses. And those spaces, those subtle spaces behind the ankles, the knees, the lower back, feel like they're softened and not as tense or pulled up. Maybe your neck feels a little bit more fluffy or full, like you've actually got an arch there instead of a compressed neck. Shoulders settle into the ground, arms feel just like they're evenly or heavily weighted. And the weight across the mid-back all the way through to the diaphragm feels low and level to the ground. And even as you settle, you might even feel like your body kind of gives in a little bit and stops kind of pulling or resisting and allowing itself to just give into the ground. Feel the weight in the back of the hips, hit down into the calves, down into the feet, and then divide the body in half. Notice the balance between the right side and left side. If your weight tends to drift all the way to your left, or kind of like your right cheek tends to feel like it's lighter on the ground or left, notice if that's more balanced or just feels about the same, but just feels more at ease. And slowly over time, you release tension. And then the other thing you're looking for is not even just the immediate, but what happens afterwards. How's your sleep? How's your digestion? How's your ability to handle stress and pressure? How's your body just releasing? Go ahead and when you're ready, slide your feet in so your shins are vertical. Bring your head and chest up. And we are done for tonight. Thank you so much for kind of going through this with me. I know it's difficult sometimes on these live things to be able to follow through and be able to kind of see what's going on the whole time. And I'm sorry about the sideways thing. I didn't know that that was going to be a format issue. What I'll probably do is I'll post this up on YouTube. You'll see it and you'll be like, I can't really see it. Or maybe you can expand it out onto your computer. And then the other thing I'll do is I'll repeat the upper body work with the hand treatment, and then we'll continue to have these melt sessions, and I'll continue to get better at videoing and recording. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Make sure you drink plenty of water. Eat your hydrating filled and vegetables. I'm having some carrots and mushrooms tonight, and whether you like them or not doesn't bother me. And then probably some green beans too, and just trying to eat the food that I have and do what I can do. Hey guys, have a great day. Tomorrow we'll have a rest and have a core restore class, and I'm putting that up. We'll have that ready to go live by 9 o'clock in the morning, so you can do that core restore class. And then we'll again on Wednesday, we'll have a melt class at night. You'll have a workout in the morning, and we'll get ourselves going. If you have any questions, please do give me a call. I'm available for private sessions for either online or in person, as long as we keep our distance, or we're able to communicate that way. So just give me a call. Again, if you are looking for anything else, just let me know. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you later.